It's the Rapid Capture Podcast.
Looks like we're on. I think we're on, Tymone.
Okay, so welcome to episode 3 of the Rapid Capture Podcast with me, Tyrone, and Alex Harvey, aka Ty Kicks, and the Photogrammetry man.
What a mouthful.
Yeah, a little bit, but at least people who are listening audio only can know a bit more about who we are.
Yeah, we've got to be more descriptive because a lot of things we say are visual on these screens, and now you've got these posh new microphones. We definitely need to be more descriptive.
Definitely. So we're going to start this week off about scanning, but this time we're going to be talking a little bit about, when we talk about scanning in terms of photogrammetry scanning or nerf scanning, we're going to be looking actually at what we've been up to and what we've been selling. A lot of people kind of controversially don't seem to believe on certain social platforms that Alex sells anything.
I get a lot of people saying that. I get a lot of people saying, you haven't been selling these models. What do you mean you've sold them? I've scanned them on my mobile phone and I've uploaded them to Polycam and then Sketchfab, and now I've sold them on the internet. People must use them for like 3D renders or games. Yes, I know they'll have no bottom on them. You can turn them upside down and there won't be a bottom, but people still buy them. So we're going to talk about, 3 of mine and 3 of yours?
Yeah. So
you going first?
Yeah, I'll go first this week for a change.
Okay.
This week I literally recently just sold a sneaker. I sold the Travis Scott Jordan 1.
This one?
High Original, which is it's a Jordan High that's a Jordan High that's a brown and sort of like off-white. And it's a limited edition shoe in real life, but obviously you can buy numerous scans as many times as you want. And this one sold for $8. So very proud to say that this sold, even if I didn't chop the bottom off it.
So obviously the bottom look is see-through, but people must be using it as a render. Did you scan this using Polycam?
Yes. So this is a Polycam scan.
And what I like about that Polycam scan app is the fact that it's built in, the pipeline's built into Sketchfab. You upload the data to Polycam, makes you a little render, and then you press upload to Sketchfab, and it uploads straight away to Sketchfab. And You're there for sale. Yeah. Have you sold this once?
Let's have a little look back. So, no, this is the second time this is sold. Very happy that one's sold. And it's obviously because I scan a lot of shoes, they seem to be like the biggest sellers for me, really. So I've scanned quite a few shoes and I've sold quite a few shoes. Which
you are into your trainers quite a lot.
Yeah.
So that's the first one then that you've sold.
Yeah.
Let's go to your food. You sold this other thing.
Yeah.
What's this?
So this was a chicken and waffle burger. This sold for, again, $8 or $8.01. And, seems that people like the food from your situation, but not the best in terms of the way that I kind of sort of like cropped it. It's still got a bit of a bottom on it and the plate's not very good. Maybe they might just take the food off the plate. Who knows if they're very adept at cropping on proper software.
I wonder what they'll use it for. Yeah, they could crop up the bottom and just have the plate. That would be all right. But the actual bacon and waffle thing looks all right, that side.
Yeah.
Again,
visually
Polycam.
It looks exactly how it looked when I ate it. So that was great.
Do you remember what it tastes like from seeing this picture?
Yeah, it was quite good. Yeah.
Where was this at in the world?
Where was that?
He doesn't remember.
I can't remember. No, I can't remember.
I can almost taste the bacon.
It might have been Boston Tea Party, maybe.
Okay, I like that place.
Yeah.
Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Big fan of there.
Yeah. It was good. It was really nice, and everyone looked at me like a right weirdo whilst I was taking
I get that a lot.
Hundreds of pictures of my burger that I should have been eating and not making go cold.
It looks like there's a bit of melted cheese around the edge as well.
Yeah. Well, we all live and learn about how good to do our scans. Alex is still learning after Lady Godiva.
I had a failed Lady Godiva attempt, but I am going to go back with a drone.
So final one is a shoe again, and this was the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low in the mocha, in the reverse mocha. Again, another brown and sort of off-white shoe, sold recently. Tried to do the sole on this one. Didn't quite work out, but the scan in general looks pretty good. No base on it anymore. And that one sold for $9.67.
Okay, so you made a nice bit of money from scanning your trainers.
Yeah, go on, tell me all about your ones then.
So I've got 3 scans lined up. My latest, well, not the latest. This one's just interesting because it's sold 3 times. The dead pigeon. Look at him.
Like anyone would want a dead pigeon, but they really do by the looks of it. It surprises me how many people seem to be interested in.
It's fascinating. The fact that this one was 250 photos in Polycam on the curb outside my house, and it's sold 3 times on Sketchfab. Little bit weird. And I can't even put this one on TikTok. This one, along with that casualty, also, they're not allowed to go on TikTok. Keep getting me community guideline strikes. You can even see the pigeon's feet.
Yeah.
So how much did that sell for? That has sold for $15.99. Oh my god!
Did it sell for $15.99? Or was that the price you set it at the beginning? Or is that the price it's for sale now?
Every time it sells, I put the price up by $1.
Okay, fair enough.
Just for fun.
Just on the hope that you're gonna claw back some of those
second one
sales that were cheap.
Second one. Look at this little beauty. It's been Halloween recently, so I went on a little trip to Warwick Castle. And these were everywhere. They actually look quite good. So, again, Polycam, iPhone 13 Pro Max. Get it out. Take 250 photos. Look at that little beauty. This one is nice.
I'll give him a little bit of credit. This one's not too bad. Could be worse.
Look at that.
Could be a dead
beautiful. Could be a dead cat.
Or a dead badger or anything. So at least he's scanning things that were never living before.
I'm whizzing through these, but that was $12. And then this one, I went on a nice little trip to London Zoo, and this was there, and I just thought, let's do 250 of this. It's like, I don't even know what it was. It was part of one of the exhibits, like a walk through gorilla place. And this was on the way out, and I just liked it because I can get all around it, apart from at the back.
I thought Alex had been to Cuba for a minute. I thought it was like some sort of like weird sort of market stall or something.
We could do that actually next week. When I went to San Fran, I did like 3 scans from San Fran. One of them was including a syringe on the floor.
Well, I went to a Manor House National Trust place this weekend and scanned a couple of things. Packwood House sundial. I got a sundial in. That looks quite cool. I have to show that on another pod.
Is that going to be next week?
Yeah, and I did a couple of nerfs as well. Let's not talk about nerf this week.
Don't get me started on nerves. But anyway, look, total sales 50, sales this month 1, total revenue $375 so far. Can you call yours out from your sales? Let's have a little competition.
Yeah. Wow. How many sales have you done? 50 sales?
I've done 50 sales, and sold $375 worth of models.
Yeah.
How many sales have you done?
I've done 15 sales.
Okay, 15.
And done $167.23 worth of sales.
167 for 15.
Too bad for 15. But I'm populating my more now with stolen Polycam models, so I get more sales soon.
Okay, click on your models. Tell me how many you got. My total is 452 models on Sketchfab.
Oh, I haven't got that many models.
This is like top trumps as a kid.
I've got 70 models.
70.
Not too bad, though, really.
Then the next stat will be how long. When did the first one done? Anyway, we'll do that next week.
Anyway, the competitions will continue when it comes to talking about scanning, models and Sketchfab. We're going to move on to something we haven't done before, but we should have touched on this last week and the week before, which was sort of news in the world of VR, AR, XR in general. So I wanted to kind of go through a couple of these things that I found. This was a week or so old, unfortunately, but very interesting still, is that the previous, or should we say the former founder of Oculus has created a VR headset with some charges that will actually kill you if you die in a game.
Sounds like fake news.
Sounds like the news that anyone who likes VR doesn't want to do, because we don't really want to be in the Matrix.
So you're going to have to explain it a bit more to me, because Palmer Lucky made a VR headset that kills the user if they die in the game.
Yeah.
So who the hell's going to want to play it? What do you get for playing the game that makes someone want to play it?
Yeah, I suppose there needs to be an incentive. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to want to be putting yourself at risk of death in a virtual reality game.
I did see this all over the internet. So there's obviously something in this article that is an incentive for doing it.
It just says, Lucky's killer headset looks like a MetaQuest Pro hooked up to 3 explosive charge modules that sit above the screen. The charges are aimed at the user's forebrain. Should they go off, would obliterate the head of the user, which is just wrong and outrageous and not required.
It doesn't look a little bit like a Quest. It is a Quest Pro. Like that, we had one on that you showed us last week.
Yeah.
That is a Quest Pro with some little bits on the front. That makes it look more and more like fake news. Someone's removed the front face of the headset.
Yeah.
Put 3. I'm going to make one next week. I'm going to get a Pico and put some little explosives on it. You can make this headset and then do a news story. Is it actually real news?
It's, I don't know, it's saying stuff related to US Special Forces and something about maybe it's that jeopardy. Maybe it's sort of like giving it to the Special Forces to go, look, you got to do your job exactly right, otherwise you'll die, which sounds like it's never going to happen.
That's the worst VR training ever, because if you don't get it right, you die and they lose a person. That's rubbish.
Absolutely doesn't fit with anything that we do at RiVR anyway. Let's just say that we want to keep people alive. That's the whole point why we
I want them to
do
fail
VR training.
I want them to fail in VR 25 times so they can do it properly once in the real world.
The idea of trying your real life tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. It's like, what? Why can't you have another experience that feels more real than death? Like, you're not going to be able to talk about it afterwards, are you? So
I'd love to know what interview that came from. I bet there's a load of backstory to it. I bet they get a lot of hits on those stories.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But
what's next in VR Tyrone news?
So this is pretty new in the last week or so, which is that Qualcomm have now announced the AR1 platform for AR glasses and headsets. And they did talk about how they're going to start to sort of ramp up, the platform so that brands can start kind of looking to how they're going to make AR glasses. And then, is
this like the Ray-Ban stories?
Sort of, but obviously more for seeing stuff in the headsets. And Niantic, the company that did Pokemon Go, they've been sort of basically creating their own AR headset for whatever reasons, and they are the ones that are sort of probably going to utilize this new platform, and obviously others, I'm sure. But they did a little demo of showing off what their headset was like. There was a video that was sort of doing the rounds, which we could probably add to the description of this for the YouTube video.
Not this one.
No, further down on this particular article, you'll see there's a lady with these glasses on, which is interesting. Little promo from Niantic, as you can see if you are watching.
Okay, so this headset that is looking really slimline is basically using the Qualcomm chip inside whatever design headset they like.
Yeah, and you can see these AR projections basically in the real world.
They look great.
But what I would have to say is that there is always going to be a lot of people that just don't want to wear glasses. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was saying this on a LinkedIn post the other day, saying that AR is great, but you're going to have a lot of people that just don't really want to wear glasses to have this experience. So it's going to be interesting how they push it, how they get people to try and adopt it. And I think that companies like Apple, have really made a point of saying that sort of VR is a stopgap for, and mixed reality is a stopgap for an AR set of glasses they want to create down the line. So, we'll see whether this platform helps other companies create some interesting tech. Be interesting to see.
It's going to absolutely change the game when Apple do come out with something eventually in this world.
Yeah,
because everyone who's got an iPhone is eventually just going to go and buy a headset.
Well, I was listening to a podcast, I think from Mac Rumors actually, and they were basically talking about how there's so many, not leaks, but there's so many people now talking it up that it looks like it's going to probably be announced at some point in the first quarter of next year.
The Apple AR headset?
Well, no, not
some
the
sort
AR,
of VR
but the more
headset.
mixed reality or VR headset, and it's going to be pricey.
A little bit like the Oculus Quest Pro.
I think that it's basically going to be a dev kit for people who've got a lot of money, and the rumour is production's going to be March time, and then they'll probably have them for sale come June. So it'll be interesting.
Okay.
Keen to
Talking
see it,
of leaked
definitely.
headsets then, the next little story that you've lined up for us.
Yeah. This is the leaked headset. We talked a little bit when we were looking at headsets last week about the Vive Flow, and this one is a render. It's not actually the actual headset, but the rumor is that this headset is going to be like a Vive Flow, but it's going to have better cameras, it's going to have color pass through, it's got cameras on the sides of the unit as well, it's got a battery, and it's going to be made a battery on the back of the head strap, and it may be modular as well and be 6 degrees of freedom.
And I've got one here today.
Similar in form factor in one way to that particular headset.
So it looks pretty much the same as this, but it's going to have a battery on the back.
Potentially, yeah. Like, this is obviously just render, but apparently a better display, larger pancake lenses. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting headset when it does come out, because HTC have only got the Focus 3.
That would help, because...
And that's the old Fresnel lenses. And then you've got Flow, which is kind of like a little like hybrid. Even though it's 6 DoF, it feels like you'd probably use it more for 3 DoF stuff. I think just because it's so light and easy, you could use it for like, you know, like what something like Nreal's glasses are like and stuff like that, with big screens and watching
really
movies.
Interesting to see all these different companies coming out with different versions of AR and different versions of VR, and then they're all going to converge into one type of headset.
Potentially down the line, you're going to see, some slim with these new chipsets, or Apple going to stick some sort of M chip into their headsets. They're going to be super powerful. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that.
I guess that leads on to our next little bit.
Yeah.
What are we talking about next?
So next is just more about how's your social engagement been in the last week? Have you been doing more TikToks about photogrammetry? How's the YouTube channel going?
Oh, we're doing TikTok update.
Only briefly, nothing too much, because we are going to get into a brief overview of the sort of modern history of VR. We've got, as you can see, we've got a ton of headsets. If you're listening, you may not be able to see, but we've got a ton of VR headsets on the table with us, and we're going to talk over these headsets and try and be as descriptive as possible for people to understand what it's all about, and understanding kind of where we're at. And also kind of, I suppose it's tied into conversations we've had between this podcast and the last podcast about how I hate old headsets being used today to promote VR. It's extremely frustrating to hear people continually say that VR is just like a box on your face, when actually VR's not that way, as we've been talking about in the news.
I might have done a bit of trolling yesterday. I think I told you about it.
Love it.
I went onto LinkedIn and searched VR headset, and then found the top 10 posts that had a fake rubbish headset in the article, and went down and put, what headset's this, question mark? And I've had a few replies, but I actually messaged Ty last night and I said, how about, instead of, like, we do a bit of trolling, but I can also then compensate it by being a little bit nice, we could take their article, take a photo on a white backdrop to try and match their image of a current headset, and then send it to them and give it them for free. What do you think?
You could do that. I feel like it's a nicer way of saying you've used a crap picture. Anyway, look at it that way. Like, please get rid of the stock headset videos and photos, and just let's get better images of newer headsets. Back
to TikTok.
Yeah, back to TikTok, back to socials.
TikTok and YouTube, you just said to me. So I'm basically trying to grow Photogrammetry Man YouTube channel, but I need to get to 4,000 watched hours. So I'm trying to use TikTok, where I've got 49,000 followers. I'm trying to show people tutorials of scanning on TikTok that lead through to more detailed content on YouTube to build up my watch hours. I've just gone from 500 subscribers. I know Ty's already got 2,000 on his YouTube, so he's already monetized. I'm trying to monetize my channel. So I've done that. The followers are up. The subscribers are up to like over 1,000. That's done. Now I need to get the watch hours up. But TikTok, last 7 days, 960,000 views and 49,000 followers. We see there, look, growing nicely. That's the followers on the screen. Profile views, 5,000, likes, 38, comments, 512. I tried to reply to every single person on TikTok. We're also live now as well on the TikTok live stream. So that's a nice little one that I upload afterwards. But you've been trying to grow yours. This week I have another competition now. I like winning.
Yeah, but you love TikTok more than me, so I'm not really that much in competition. But I like the
You've beaten me on YouTube.
It's the one platform where I can put stuff on that doesn't have to be solely sneaker related.
Okay.
So it's quite good to be able to just mix it up when I want to make a piece of content, regardless of what it is. I can just make it. So yeah, you'll see more sneaker stuff on it because that's what I'm into. But if it's tech, if it's F1, if it's anything, I just use TikTok for that reason. What's
your TikTok handle then?
Tykicks, TY. It's either underscore or space. I can't remember. I'll have to have a check. But it is still Tykicks.
There you go.
So
Ty_kicks.
Let's have a look. There we go. So yeah, Ty_kicks.
And mine is Alex Tench. Tench.
And yeah, it's quite good to be able to kind of just chuck out stuff that I want to do. Alex is the same though. It's not all just photogrammetry.
Yeah, I got my food on there, my drinks on there.
It's him in the bath. Anything, it could be anything. Him in his orange stew that he likes to have a little bath in. God knows.
That's actually a lush bath bomb.
It looks like a mistake happened.
You know when Ricky Gervais takes his picture in the bath of his face like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's my version of that. What colour bath can I take a selfie on and send it to Tyrone?
How much orange squash has Alex drank today? Oh,
I would like to have a bath in orange squash.
Okay, we're all grown-ups. We don't drink squash anymore.
That's all I drink. It has to be Sainsbury's squash, high juice, £2.50 a pop.
So I will say that my TikTok has had sort of fluctuating views this week, not really tons, but I will say my YouTube Shorts has done quite well in certain ways, and not massive, but still better views than actually my long form videos. So that was quite good. I did a video about a shoe. It was the Home Alone Adidas shoe, and I put that out there, and that's done all right considering it's Christmas. They did a collaboration shoe together of a old basketball shoe, and it's got all these little features on it of the bits from Home Alone, like the M on the McAllister door that one of the burglars burns his hand on, and all sorts of little different details on the insole. It's pretty cool. Really like it was there. You just missed it on the screen.
Why is it not right on your screen?
Because these are
Where
not
have you
shorts.
hidden it?
These are not shorts. Go to shorts.
Okay.
There you go. So it's on the shorts there.
Where?
The first one. That's it.
This one?
So yeah, that's the one.
Well, let's watch this. Let's cut to the big angle, the wide angle.
Yeah.
Pair of full
Wait.
basketball
Okay.
sneakers. These are incredible. Check out some of these details.
I need to scan this shit.
Too long. This video is too long.
For Alex's opinion.
You've got the Home Alone branding that's on the tongue and these little explosive
Alex
parts
likes
on
quick.
the shoe. That's
Give
the
me
Home
these
Alone
shoes and I'll do a
brand as
TikTok video
well.
for these
Additional
shoes.
lace add-ons
No,
with the paint can,
because that just gives you more
fan,
content and you're
iron.
not having my
Amazing. And
content.
the
So
best
there we go.
part is
Alex likes to steal any piece of content that he likes that I do and then post it up as his own.
Tyrone sends me the video and I cut it down from 1 minute 20 to 12 engaged seconds of content rather than 1 hour 20-minute boredom.
Which is great. This whole podcast took 500 years to set up today. With
Let's
Alex,
talk
isn't
about
it?
that.
No, we won't talk about it
Oh,
today.
he
We've got
doesn't
other
wanna.
stuff to do. But anyway, we now have pro mics, so I'm happy. That's all that matters to me.
Hopefully this audio sounds absolutely amazing. I'm talking into your ears now nicely.
So anyway, shifting on from that as well, I actually got some good engagement with Instagram Reels as well. That really went off on a pair of other trainers that I did. I went to go and pick them up at the weekend, and people were really keen on that, and that's done over a couple of thousand. So for a reel, it was quite good in some ways.
Lost and found Jordans.
That's the ones, these ones. This was a vlog that I did, which was quite cool, but you know, not too anything related to technology anyway. It's just my personal channel.
Yeah, but I like it because it's your passion. You like going and buying trainers.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely my passion.
And you like making videos, so you do a video of your trainers.
Exactly. And then what was I going to say? The overall kind of vibe is that sticking to stuff that I do on my channel, specifically around trainers, does get more views than if I start putting other stuff on. But the podcast's growing, so I do put the video onto my YouTube channel. Alex puts it on his Photogrammetry Man channel, and so it'd be good if you do want to go over to see it. You can go over and watch it on there. We'll leave the links in the description.
Can we do a test though? Like make a brand new TikTok account, call it whatever you want. Give me that Home Alone trainer and let me make a video of it. I want to prove to you that length on TikTok is a problem.
They
You
should
make
just
it a minute
stop
long.
You doing long videos then, shouldn't they? If it was so bad.
We've been through this. You like making things that are more perfected and longer.
But you can answer the question for me then. Why do they allow you to do 3-minute videos?
Because if you can engage someone for 3 minutes and keep doing 2-second
But
cuts,
you don't
1 second
do
cuts.
long videos to
never,
test that.
I never do long videos.
So
no.
maybe there's your trial. Forget about trying to use my content to get views. You try and do an engaging 3-minute video and see if you can get views.
I'll do that if you give me that trainer.
But there's not enough
No.
content to make 3 minutes.
I mean, I'll choose something. I'll find something like scanning to make a tutorial about a 3-minute version. I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But I want to make a short version of your 1-minute version of your Home Alone trainer.
Well, you can. You can just download it off TikTok.
Everyone heard that. He said I'm allowed to do it. So I can
Go
take
for
it. You can send it me. I can chop it up.
Yeah, go for it. Right.
No, I want the trainer. I don't want your video.
What do you mean? Oh,
I want the trainer.
You can just have the trainer then. But you are going to get more views. You'll have to do the new channel then. And then we'll see how that really rolls. You get like 3 views.
I'll do it from a brand new channel.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Okay.
All right, anyway, you go onto your socials and stuff.
Oh, we've done mine.
Oh, have we done them all? You've done
Well,
everything?
I've
all
done
platforms?
my TikTok.
Cool.
I've
All
done
right.
my YouTube.
Let's
I haven't touched on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. But
let's move on then. Let's go on then. So we're going to go through like a brief overview of some of these VR headsets that we've got in here. Just a sort of look at modern history of VR, purely because we have lots and lots of different VR headsets in here. Way before I started at RiVR, some of them, and Alex will know more about it.
Is this where I get to wear them?
And,
oh my god, it's all baggy.
Yeah, let's go over it.
It's all
So,
baggy and minging.
was this the first headset that you ever bought, Alex?
Yeah, when I started hearing about VR, oh my god, this might even break. I can't even put it on my head properly. Look at the baggy old pant of that on that.
VR box. Is that what it was called? VR box.
Yeah, so you'd open up the front, you buy it from the garage for $9.99, and you put your mobile phone in there, clip it into this bit.
Did you have to download like a special piece of software for it?
No, you would like go to YouTube and then go to split screen mode.
Oh my
Do
do they even do that anymore on
It don't even
YouTube?
sit on your head.
Do they even give you that option in YouTube anymore?
I think there might be an option to split. But
That is
anyway,
it.
that was the worst ever. And that's what you get frustrated about when you see people posting photos online of this headset.
How long ago when did you get that? How long ago was that? Because this is what I still see on these social platforms as VR.
2015-ish.
The front flap opens, you put your phone in it. It's embarrassing.
Look at that.
That's a horror show with these really horrible lenses that have got a really narrow field of view as well.
You see me on the camera.
Just like 2 balls of plastic, aren't they, inside? For
Can
the
we just
lenses?
shout a nice little shout to Dan Mitten, who's sat in the room with us now? He's doing the switching for us live.
Hello.
Dan Mitten. What are you on Instagram, Daniel?
You want my Instagram?
Well, if you want to.
Oh, we plugging.
Yeah. D
Oh my
Mitten.
God. Mate, I'm going to get 2 million followers.
D Mitten on Instagram.
Yeah, go on.
That's what
look
you need to
at
follow him.
this headset.
So, Ty, give us your version of that.
This is the most minging
Put it on.
headset.
Put it on. It looks like a pair of pants on your head.
This is the headset of my nightmares, not my dreams. At least it's got IPD adjustment, though.
Yeah.
That's quite surprising. I never knew
Manual.
that. Never really looked at this. I just saw it and went, nah. The minute I saw it. Nah.
Wasn't for you.
It's still a no. Still a no from me.
Definitely not interested in that
Yeah,
then.
so history of that is, how long ago do you think you picked this one up? Like
Yeah, 2015, 2016 is when we... Probably before.
2015, 16. So around the time that,
I left Codemaster 2014.
like Gear VR came out, maybe?
No, not yet.
Oh,
That's
okay,
not
so-
out yet.
Okay.
Then I got the
thought this came
Pixel.
out after.
Then I got the Pixel phone,
Okay.
Google Pixel, and this one's fancy. Look, you got a nice little controller in this one, and you put a Pixel phone in. I was actually blown away by this when it came out. It's called Daydream.
Daydream, I remember Daydream.
Google Daydream. Nice little thing. Put your phone into that bit. Actually, did your phone go there?
Yeah, phone went in it somehow.
I don't know how that fit in there, but
Did it not go into the actual headset and then you just locked it in? I think you just locked it in. It just clasped onto it. Those rubber things
weird. Bit of a grabber.
would have like grabbed onto the back of the phone.
Yeah, then it's raised out from the screen so you can put it in. But put that on your head.
Do you know the thing that's funny about this though is this really reminds me of the Quest 1, the original Quest 1, because they made the outside of it all fabric.
The Quest 1.
So the original Quest 1, the black one
Oh, yeah.
that we have somewhere here,
Put that in stock.
this one,
Yeah.
they made the outside of that all fabric as well. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. That this was before the Quest 1. Still a phone holder,
And
though.
still 3 degrees of freedom. Like, you're putting a phone inside. There was an app that you can download on the Daydream to look
How
through.
small the lens
And you had a
are.
controller. So
Really
in this
small.
one, you can go around and click things with the button. It was a little bit easier.
Really small field of view. Really small phone in that as well.
Put that back in.
Yeah, not.
And then continuing the theme of the phones clipping in, Samsung. Samsung released Gear VR. They were giving these away when they were selling phone contracts. So this, you would clip your phone in the front, and again, I think you had a controller, but you mainly had a touchpad on the side here that you could click, and this was like up, down, left, right, but still you're clipping a phone into it. So the phone used to get really hot, overheat, and basically turn off.
This is my first experience of current day VR. I remember buying a Samsung phone, getting a Gear VR headset and putting the phone in it, having to make sure you got the right connector for the phone, make sure it was either USB-C or micro USB or whatever
you
it
had to
was.
change this bit.
Lock
if
it
was
in,
different.
you could put a little face plate on the front of it so you didn't see the phone, but you didn't really need it. It was just for aesthetics, didn't it? And this is another one that gets seen everywhere online as a VR headset, and it's like, VR headsets are not like this anymore.
To be fair, though, this is where RiVR Did start.
Yeah, and I suppose in some ways it had to start somewhere. And
I went to the emergency services show where Paul Spate from Leicestershire Fire and Rescue was showing one of his films on 6 of these headsets, and he had 6 chairs, 6 firefighters, and they were all controlling each of these headsets on 6 people, and they had to say to everyone when they put the headset on, "What can you see? What can you see?" And they were like, "I can see the play button," and he was like, "Look at the play button, now tap the side of your head." So then we came up with RiVR, which allowed them to press play on 6 devices.
so this is
Then we installed them into holiday shops. Actually, Thompson Holidays. We ended up going on a Barbados cruise ship. Horrible journey that was. To film some 360 video of what it's like on the cruise ship, and then we installed into 5 different TUI Thompson Holiday shops an experience for the cruise ships and extra legroom seats using RiVR, which was called VR Sync back then.
Yeah, so looking at these two, there's not a lot of difference between them. They didn't really do. They did a little bit of aesthetic change. So one's white, and this was the original one, the white one.
Yeah, that was for Samsung.
And I've got a little bit of info on here about it. So they announced, where is it? They announced Gear VR was first announced on the 3rd of September 2014. And then was sort of given to developers to create content, and Samsung were going to try and be the innovators of VR, consumer VR. You could get things that you could strap your phone in, you could get a cardboard box VR thing, but this was the first time using a phone and a headset kind of like combined.
Oh, talk about that, look.
And then
Oh, look, it's so old.
what was it, the 360 camera?
Yeah, look, you got a 360 camera. We've got some on the table here.
So Samsung were creating immersive content as well for the headset, which was quite interesting.
So they gave you a camera back then, 360 camera, little micro SD card in there, allowed you to shoot 360 flat video. We're talking next week about cameras.
Yes, hopefully.
So we can touch on that then. But
yeah,
that was sort of the last of the phone clipping into headsets.
But it's interesting because if you read on the side, it says Gear VR powered by Oculus.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. This
Yeah,
is kind
like
of
a
like
collab.
Oculus being kind of like the big PC VR headset manufacturer of the time, or the well-known one, helping Samsung create something that was standalone.
Yeah, and then it got superseded when the Oculus Go came out.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's when that went away.
Yeah.
Then actually we haven't got the Go here, but then the Go came over, which was a 3 degrees of freedom headset with a screen built in. Then everyone was like, "Oh my god, there's a real VR headset with a controller." And then Pico did the same thing.
So all built into that. No phone anymore.
On this one, the battery was in the front though, and the screen, so it's quite front heavy. But it was just for us. This was like groundbreaking to not have to clip a phone into the front. We used to sell to our clients Gear VR, 5 phones, 5 headsets.
Yeah,
Absolute pain to try and make that work.
this is all of these things are all tetherless. These were tetherless things, but there were tethered headsets before that as well. So if you were going to do proper full room scale, pick stuff up, move stuff about controllers, what would you use? What would you go to?
The first one that came out for like Wowie was the Rift.
Yeah.
So the Oculus Rift was like, you used to have 2 base stations in front of next to your PC, tether this with a big cable into your computer, set up your tracking, and that was amazing. You could do some real cool games in that experience, in the Oculus stuff, in the Rift.
So I suppose these things were more cost effective, but you didn't get to do as much.
3 degrees of freedom.
Part of your phone contract, you might get that included.
And you couldn't pick anything up. This was
couldn't
like
do anything with it. This, you had the headset, which how much would have that kind of roughly have been?
God, I don't know. They're going back now, probably like 600 quid. I remember the Vive being £1,000.
But then you got to pay for a big PC, gaming PC.
Yeah, most people had them already, and you just bought an add-on to play some cool VR games. It was very gamer-focused stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, so that's Oculus Rift.
Yeah, and that was that, and then you have their competition, which was
Vive. Vive came out with their first version, which was this one, with the built-in headphones, HTC Vive. And with this one, instead of having trackers on the table in front of you, you had 2 lighthouses in the room that you had to mount, and they tracked the headset as you walked around, and the controllers. So this was the first one where you can actually stand up and walk around. I remember playing the lab experience inside Vive, and it absolutely blew my head off when I first had a go. It was stunning, and you can probably go and play the lab now, but it was, I remember probably 2016, 2017, playing this and being absolutely mind blown. But then this one was superseded again. Well, they actually bought a version out that had eye tracking as well.
That was the one that I think was the first ever tethered PC headset I ever had to go on. I remember having to go on some underwater experience where I was on like I was on the bow of a ship, and I'm like stood there, and I'm absolutely blown away by the level of fidelity of everything, thinking it's absolutely incredible. I'm like, oh my god, I'm under the sea. Automatically hear some sound from one side to the other, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like a huge whale's just flown straight past me whilst I'm looking over the bow of this sort of railings on the ship. It was amazing.
That was a little bit like Titanic experience.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Then there's Vive Pro.
We've got Vive Pro, an update.
Which we made a lot of experiences for and still use it for RiVR Investigate.
This is, yeah.
I'm getting a bit full here of headsets on the table.
Just put a little bit down here. We've got a bit of space there.
I can push them over to you.
You can move some over. Just mind the cables.
Look at that, Vive Pro. Ross is going to tell us off tomorrow with all the mess we've made in the office. Yeah. We've ruined his display of headsets. But this one, again, there was just better resolution, better field of view, better audio, but still standard tethered to a PC with lighthouses around you. And then after this, there was, I think on the screen now, there was the Cosmos that came out, which was their first attempt at inside-out tracking.
Yes.
Outside in was when the sensors were looking at the headset and it was moving around. But after that came the next lot of headsets that we see. There was the Cosmos. Then there was this Vive Focus, which is a standalone.
Yeah. Just quickly, I want to touch on these last few headsets. So bearing in mind
the pile of headsets.
Some of the early ones that we talked about would only play video. You had a phone inside them. You know, a Samsung Galaxy phone or whatever it be, whether it be a Google phone, no cables, no nothing. You depend on the battery life of the phone to be able to play the content, etc. Whereas these ones were all loads of cables attached to it, having to be connected to a computer. It needed to be powerful enough to play the games that it actually, or whatever it may be, experiences that you're experiencing. And you needed room as well, whereas you didn't need the room for the other stuff to move about. And then the really interesting thing with tethered PC VR as well was that you had like a completely different experience. You could make things more photorealistic or cartoony. It's up to you how you wanted it to be. But HTC did try and bring out, or has brought out, a wireless adapter, so you could try and lose the cables, but you were still going to be attached to a PC. And then we moved into kind of more should we say standalone 6 degrees of freedom headsets.
Inside out tracked. Where they worked out how to use the cameras on the headsets to track the world around you rather than having sensors looking at the headset.
So just prior to this, Oculus had brought out the Go, which like Alex said was before the inside out tracking VR headsets that were standalone that can only play video, passive experience. Did they have a remote though as well?
On the
Did
go.
you do stuff with the remote?
Yeah, on the go.
Yeah, so I don't know what you could do with that remote, but
It was locked to one position, and you could just point it wherever you held it. It would
okay,
do
it's
like
like a
point,
wand kind of thing,
like
really.
a TV remote.
Yeah, and then this was the first inside out tracking headset. Was like rumored for ages to be coming. The Oculus Quest 1. And this used XR1 chip, which was specifically for VR headsets. And I remember buying this. I remember you getting it first. And then I was like, I need one. I need one in my life. I need one right now. And then this was like the go-to playing movie watcher and playing Beat Saber kind of headset.
Talk about that quickly. Every single plane trip that we've done to long haul, both of us have probably watched 3 or 4, 5, 6 hours of content inside a cinema.
Yeah.
But the reason that's amazing, and I genuinely think most airlines will take that up eventually, is that having a headset on a plane and watching a 2D film in a massive cinema alleviates any feeling that I'm on a plane. I have noise cancelling. You do the same thing. Noise cancelling headphones, watching Game of Thrones 6 episodes. I'm absolutely lost in a world of my own, and I feel like I've got loads of room.
I'd really
about
like
to come back with something.
I'd really like you to get on a podcast with the guy from the Mac Rumors podcast. He's a British guy. I need to find his name for you. He was talking about having a go on the of all headsets, the Meta Quest Pro, and saying how claustrophobic he felt being in it, and how he felt like you'd never want to wear it on a plane, and it would be really horrible, and that the experience wasn't great. And it's almost like, what do you want from a plane trip? It's like I'd rather watch on a phone or on a tablet a movie.
Oh, he's had no idea about the spaciousness, the space feeling that you get in there.
It was really interesting. I'll have to link you to it. You can have your opinions on a future podcast about that particular podcast. But I actually enjoy watching movies on it. You feel like you're in a big cinema. But
In fact,
obviously,
we used to do it on Gear VR on a plane.
yeah, but it's not something that it's for. It's for more than just that anyway. So, we have got some other standalone headsets. We've got the Vive Focus. There's a new Vive Focus as well. This is an old
We're on to
one.
Focus 3 now. That's Focus 1.
Yeah, and then we've got Neo 2 from Pico, and then we showed last week the newest one, which is the Neo 4.
You missed out
We've
Quest
got
2.
Quest 2 as well, which is probably the biggest selling VR headset, probably to date, isn't it, really? I think that's
This one's cleaning up. I mean, this is what I'm wearing on the plane on Friday.
So, yeah, you've got that, and, our kind of history kind of leads on to the most current one, which is the Pico 4 we just talked about. And then in this case, we've got the Meta Quest Pro. So
That's the most up-to-date headset at the moment, then.
it's the most up-to-date standalone. It's not necessarily the cheapest by any means whatsoever, but if you haven't seen it, it's very different to your traditional VR headsets. It doesn't have a top strap, no phone in it, definitely not. It's got really big pancake lenses, really wide field of view.
It feels absolutely amazing when you put it on. The comfort level is stunning.
And
you've got your blackout blinds on it.
I've got the blackout blinds on it now. Little 3D printed numbers, which are going to be better than
That's nice.
Metas.
I really like the way it just totally flicks straight away to being colour pass-through. And I'm in the room. I can see you and I can see Dan.
And we talked about it before. Like some of the headsets, like Quest 2. Did Quest 1 have pass-through? Black and white pass-through?
Quest 1... I'm not sure.
I know Quest 2 had... Basically, when we talk about pass-through, so for anyone that doesn't understand or doesn't know, these headsets have cameras on the front of them. And these cameras are supposed to be there to basically track you. But what they also can do is allow you to see out into the real world whilst keeping your headset on. And because of that, it means that you have a bit of an awareness, situational awareness of what's around you. And they have now upgraded the most recent headsets. Have colour pass-through as opposed to black and white pass-through. The cameras weren't good enough, the chipsets weren't good enough, and now it's going to get better and better for standalone. And the reason why over time tethered headsets may go away, because it's not like you can't connect these headsets to a PC anyway. If you want better graphics and better fidelity, you can connect these headsets to Steam and play games on there as well as a full PC setup. So yeah, really, really good.
And you can even drink coffee while you got the headset on.
Alex drinking a Starbucks whilst keeping his headset on. all ready for winding this particular episode up, I will say.
Where are we going on Friday?
So we're hopping on a plane to the States. We are going to a big tech simulation show in Florida, showing the different types of technology that is out there, from VR, XR, AR, and I'm sure there are other technologies that military use. It's more military based. We're really excited to go and sort of show off some of the things we do with RiVR Link and RiVR Investigate products, RiVR CSI products, showing off what we do with virtual reality.
So we're the technology partner for Clarion Events. So we go around everywhere with those guys, and they allow us to be on their stand in Orlando, which we're going, I think, Ollie, me and you going there, going to make sure we take all the RiVR products. We're looking forward to doing the Carne, I think, aren't we, this time?
Yeah, I'll leave that to Ollie.
I can see Ollie nodding his head through the window.
Ollie doing that. So that was episode 3 of the Rapid Capture podcast. If you did enjoy it, please go and listen to the previous 2 episodes. We will be doing more going on, and really hope that you enjoyed our rambles about virtual reality.
Have you tried wearing this on while you're driving yet?
Definitely not on a bike at the very least.
Well, I could try this driving. Should we try it in the car park on the way out?
If you want to tell everyone on live stream, you haven't got any policemen or policewomen that work.
Well, I can see everything.
On your
What do you mean?
stream.
It's just like wearing glasses.
Awesome.
It's okay, we might go and try this in a minute. I'm going to drive in my car wearing this headset.
Right. See you later.
Amazing.